I'll talk about the land north of Jeff Schmeat's. My grandpa got that for back taxes. I don't know the year for sure. I think it was in the 40s. In the 30s, when it was the drought for 10 years, and this is sandy ground, people just picked up and left. Grandpa got all that land north of Schmeitz's, which consists of about 300 acres, I think. 320 maybe up there. And then Clifford got 2 quarters on the other side, right about a mile away or half a mile away to the east there then. He had them both sides of the road there. And then when I was there when Clifford sold it to the Bureau and we settled, we were at the bank and we settled. And then we says, here's the abstracts for the land. And those guys from the Bureau of Reclamation says, we don't need the abstract. So I got them. And I looked on there and I was wondering what they paid for that land. And Clifford paid $560 for a quarter section of land. And he did it for 3 years and he owned it then. They got it back on the tax roll now. They weren't getting any money out of it before. In 1965, I did not know this, Tom didn't know this, that our dad didn't buy this place until 65. Well, Tom was almost out of high school. He didn't know that Dad didn't own it. See, my grandpa owned all the land that Clifford and Dad had originally. And then he split it up between the boys then. In 1965, he bought that farm where Jess lives, the Brower Farm, 440 acres up there. And I remember him coming to Clifford's place. Arnie Loud tells me this story. It's true. And I remember being there, and we were doing the footings for those Balaam bends that are still there. And we went in and ate. And this was in the old house, not the house that Amanda and Jeffrey live in now. And Grandpa said at the table, he bought the Brower Farm, and Clifford said, "What's wrong with you, you crazy old man? Why don't you retire?" And he says, "No, I need something to do." And I, as a young kid, I remember him buying it and going up there. And it was kind of run down, you know. The house was still livable. And I asked, "Who'd you buy this from?" And he says, "A bunch of old people." And then I found out later that the people were about, I don't know, 5 or 7 years younger than he was. And then he told me the story. It was Soil Bank. See, Soil Bank is like CRP. And my grandpa broke it all up. There was 160 acres where the barn is, and then the 62 acres on the south side of the hay slough down there. And he told me the second year he combined and sold the wheat, I paid it off. He paid the farm at 2 years up there. And then he made hay, and he always had this hired man called Hobo, and Melvin Werlener was his name. And they would make hay up there, and it was loose hay they made and stacked it and stuff. And then Grandpa had his cows out there. Well, when he was 83 years old, he got sick, and he had to go to the hospital. And my dad and Clifford called the trucks in, and they sold his cows right away.